Good morning, folks. This is Deb Delapierre. This is your short take. You know, I have got to get ready for work, but there are a few people in the GOP who irritate me more than Lauren Boebert, because the woman is a factless fool, quite frankly. So we have a lot to talk about with her, but we're not going to talk about it all in this video. I want to talk to you about her commentary about birth control and how she left birth control pills at the counter because it was cheaper for her to have children. So let's talk about that. I did some research, which, I do a lot of. So, birth control, the pill, can cost a woman between $240 and $600 a year out of pocket. And that depends on if you're, covered by insurance, which I happen to know that Lauren Boebert is, because we, the taxpayer, pay for her insurance. So I think she's full of shit. I don't think she left anything at the counter. Okay. And I also know that Lauren Boebert makes $174,000 a year to irritate the living shit out of me. Okay. By contrast, having a child is expensive. By the time your child is 17, you will have spent $310,605. That information was just released by the Brookings Institute. Those are 2023 figures. And Lauren has 4 little heathens in her brood. So when we talk about the GOP and their facts, you need to understand something. They don't live or make decisions based on real facts, real world facts. The people that use birth control in this country are not all making $174,000 a year. And having a child would certainly not be less expensive for them. It would be a disaster for them. Now, as far as birth control is concerned, my daughter was paying out of pocket for that on her own for quite some time before her insurance covered her. So if my daughter working in retail can do that, then Lauren Boebert can certainly afford that. And besides, her husband at that time was working as well. I know she's getting a divorce now. We're going to talk about that later too. But the fact of the matter is that Lauren Boebert is full of shit. Every time she opens her mouth on the floor of Congress, she makes a fool of herself to any real people who have a thought process. She may be enthralling her followers, but I'm trying not to be as nasty here as I can be, but they are brainless. I mean, they just, whatever comes out of her mouth or whatever comes out of the GOP's mouth, they just swallow it whole because they cannot think for themselves. They are in a cult. It is a cult of idiocy is what we've got going on here. And they're dangerous. No one says you can't be an idiot and be dangerous. She's a dangerous person spreading myths about a lot of things. And her latest is that LGBTQ plus people are degenerates. I take that personally because I am one of those people, and so is my child. And so later on, when I get back from work, we're going to talk about that little commentary as well. And, I'm hoping when I do talk about it, that TikTok doesn't have a fit over what I'm going to reveal about Lauren Boebert and her life and who's really a degenerate, because everything I'm going to talk about is based in fact. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you all later. Good morning, folks. This is Deb Delapierre, and this is part 2 of our little foray into the fantasy world of Lauren Boebert. So in part 2, I'm talking about the fact that Lauren Boebert has referred to the LGBTQ plus community as degenerates. I take that really personally since I happen to be a proud member of that community. So let's talk specifically about what she said. She tweeted, Well, I guess North Face wanted to get a taste of what conservatives did to Bud Light and Target. How many times do we have to explain to the woke marketing departments at these disgusting companies that America is not a nation of degenerates? It's time to boycott any product North Face has ever made. Let's make it as shameful to wear North Face as it is to drink Bud Light. Now, with this tweet, she is referring to the fact that Bud Light partnered with Dylan Mulvaney, a transgender person, and Target released its Pride merchandise. Now, Target has taken some of that off the market, so we will never buy from Target again. I am done with Target. And honestly, Bud Light, I don't know any self-respecting gay person who actually drinks Bud Light. Most people think of it as dumpster juice. And I hate beer to begin with, so I could care less what happens to Bud Light in general. But the fact that all of a sudden Pride Month and partnerships with people who are gay is a problem is a first, because I have lived through many Republican administrations where this never happened. This is MAGA Republicanville acting like total morons because they've got nothing else to run on. They've got nothing else to run on but vilifying and bad-mouthing people who are just trying to live a fucking life. So let's talk about Lauren Boebert for a few minutes and degeneracy. Now, I have been through some of this material before and had trouble on TikTok. They took my video down and I argued with them. So let me say this to TikTok before this starts. All of this is public knowledge. If you go to the YouTube version of this video, which will be up today, you can see all of the articles in all of the newspapers and magazines about this. None of this is hate speech. When a representative of the United States government targets people and calls them degenerates, that is indeed hate speech. What I'm going to reveal to you are the facts. So when Lauren Boebert wants to talk about degeneracy, let's talk about the fact that she has a rap sheet, and she had a rap sheet before she was elected. Do I think she is a violent criminal? I don't. But I do think her rap sheet shows that she is, at best, an irresponsible woman and a woman who never showed up for her court dates. So for a woman who claims to be all about the law, she certainly makes a mockery of it on her own personal level. Her husband, Jason, at the age of 24, exposed himself to two 16-year-old girls in a bowling alley. Lauren Boebert was also present at the time, and she was 17 years old. She ended up marrying him. The other two girls actually filed a complaint against him. He pled guilty, and he served 4 days in jail and went on probation. Okay? So I guess gay people are degenerates, but when heterosexual people do stuff like that in a bowling alley, it's not degeneracy. Lauren Boebert's son, at the age of 17, got his 15-year-old girlfriend pregnant. Now, shit happens. I get that more than anybody. But you know what? It's funny how when it happens to someone in her family, Lauren Boebert then doesn't want to nitpick on the Bible and what's right and what's wrong. And we don't always do everything perfectly. But that doesn't apply to the other side. Lauren Boebert is a consummate hypocrite. Okay? And she's out there boasting about the fact that she's going to be a grandmother at 36 years old. Her son got a 15-year-old girl pregnant. And the Republican Party, for all of their concern for children, certainly doesn't do anything about going after the fact that child marriage is literally legalizing pedophilia. We have a whole bunch of hypocrisy going on here. The state of Tennessee was working to lower the age of marriage to 13 years old. Most of the people getting married at 13 years old are young girls, and they're marrying much older men. That's legalizing pedophilia. We actually have an activist group that is going around the nation trying to raise child marriage to the age of 18. Give me a break, folks, okay? Please, don't come to me and talk to me about morals and who's degenerate and who isn't degenerate. I'm tired of hearing all of this stuff. And for the people who want to infer that the majority of pedophiles are homosexuals, there are scientific studies that prove that that is patently false. There is a vast difference between being gay and being a pedophile. The president of the United States, the former president of the United States, because he did actually lose in 2020, the former president of the United States has just been convicted in a civil trial and is now an official sexual predator. He does not have to register, but he is an official sexual predator. He has at least 25 other women with credible allegations against him. I'm tired of hearing all about how the LGBTQ plus community is full of degenerates. We're all tired of hearing it. I will post this video on YouTube as well as TikTok. And on the YouTube version, there are a myriad of articles that will show you how many people on the right have been arrested and convicted of child pornography and other violations. Dennis Hastert lost his job because he paid off boys that he molested. Okay? He was the former Speaker of the House. Jim Jordan, currently serving, was accused of ignoring wrestlers at Ohio State University who told them they were being repeatedly molested by the doctor, the team doctor. Now, the right wing and the GOP circled the wagons on him, but the information is out there. And as for Lauren Boebert, she's had numerous people call and complain about her family's activities in their neighborhood, her husband being drunk and driving over a mailbox. She recently intervened in an accusation by her son, who called the police and said his father was abusing him. She managed to squash that. I suggest to you that the people who have the most skeletons in the closet are the people who do the most accusing, and they really need to shut the fuck up. Do I really like doing these videos? I actually don't. What I would prefer to focus on is Lauren Boebert's failures as a legislator, and there are many. She plays fast and loose with facts. She is not the brightest bulb on the planet, and she certainly isn't a whirlwind genius. She has done precious little in her 2 terms. And it's time to make Adam Frisch a winner in Colorado and get rid of her. She is poison. I will talk to you all later.